Hi, everyone. How is everybody? Are you allowed to comment now? Hey, okay, because there's a new thing on my streaming where the comments were coming over the screen, and I was like, ah. You have fresh out of the shower, Susie. So it is what it is. But I wanted to make sure that I got on here for tonight, and I was just lighting some candles for everyone. We need some solar plex, Leo confidence candles. I have to tell you, I just said to my daughter, can you make sure that you go on, because it may just be you, because I haven't been on in over a month, and I can't tell you how loved I feel right now, like that you all are in the chat. So yay. How's everyone doing? Alien. I see all of your beautiful selves in your energy. Hi. So this is what I wanted to talk about tonight. One, I wanted to make sure, I know that there's a lot of like 8-8, it's the Lionsgate portal. It is. But what that is Sirius and the sun, and the way the earth is lined up between Sirius and Orion. And so like it creates this amazing energy. And I wanted to cover like 3 things, and I will do 8 free readings. Hello from Tokyo. I will do 8 free like live cold reads tonight. But I wanted to talk about the fact that this portal is open till the 10th. I know it's really great to say like 8-8 Lionsgate, and people, I don't want anyone to feel, one of the reasons I wanted to do this later was because I wanted to make sure that you all understand, like this man, like if you wake up tomorrow and you were like, yesterday was crazy, it was Monday, a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I forgot to manifest, you're good. You're good, because this April, hi April, this energy will last longer than today. Also, but what is ending in like 8 hours is Connie Joe's special. I see a lot of familiar faces. You know, Connie Joe and I read for each other, but she's extraordinary. And I'm not, you know, I have my specialties, but man, she's extraordinary. So she's having a flash sale that goes till 4 a.m. Eastern time, which is like midnight if you're in Alaska, and I'm sure you guys can figure out the time in between. But that is, and if you need the link, Lee, are you able to get to the link? Pretty sure you can on my phone, but if not, I can. If anyone wants the link, but you just, all you have to do is go over to soulnavigation.com and the book of reading and go to Connie Joe's page. Boop, it's there. But she's so worth it, guys. She's life-changing and so accurate, and she's just great. And I have no problem on my own platform being like, go book a reading with somebody else, because 7 billion people on the planet, and there's enough to go around. Also, the other announcement, and again, I'm giving away readings, guys, so we're going to get into it. But the other announcement is that Connie Joe and I are also, you can just go on my page, actually. Also, we'll throw you over to Connie Joe's link tree. But the other thing that you will find on my page is that we started doing dual readings. And so I respectfully don't talk about that in any other space but the spaces that are Susie Evolutionary only. So we started doing dual readings, and you can just, I'm not going to spend a ton of time, but if you want to check them out, you can go on my website. My website's just susieevolutionary.com. It's very, very easy. All right, so everybody's settled. You don't have to, like, if you don't manifest tonight, if all the worst things happen to you today, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and people are aggravating you because we have Mars squares Saturn today. It feels like you're being blocked. Feels like I wanted to do this at like 6 o'clock at night, and at every turn, something was like, nope, it's Mars squares Saturn. Well, and Jacqueline, she's having a flash sale right now, so there's like an $88 reading, and I don't think she normally has, but she also has 15-minute readings. You should check those out. Anyhow, yeah, you can manifest anytime until the 10th, really, because sometimes like we want to be in a good vibration or a good mood, or it just gets away from us, and we feel like I'm not in a place to manifest anything, right? Because we know what we put out will get back in. You have 2 days. The other thing that I wanted to say is that, do you all know where you have Leo in your chart? Let me know where you have Leo in your chart. And while you guys are writing down Leo in the chart, I just want to like peek and see. Hi, Adva and Starla and Jasmine and Little John and Juan, of course. I'm so happy to see you here, Starla. I don't know why you came up on my mind the other day, but you did, Starla. And hi, Kristen and April, my love. Corey, yay, Jupiter. I love seeing all you guys here. Hey, Nicole, Jacqueline. What house? All right, yeah. I want to know what house you have Leo in. Okay, Kristen, if you don't think you have Leo, everyone has Leo. So let me explain something. When you are born, yes, you have Leo. You have Leo in your chart. There's Leo in one house or another. Because when you are born, it is a snapshot of the sky at that moment. So in the sky are all the constellations at all times. Whether you have placements in them, doesn't matter. We don't need a placement in Leo for the Lionsgate magic to work for you. So you're going to look at what house, and if you're having trouble with that, you can tell me your rising and I can help you out with that. Is there anyone that needs help? Because there's no point in me doing this. You know, one of the beautiful things about this channel right now is it's still very intimate. So let's make sure before we proceed, and replay viewers, let me make this very clear, and I super appreciate you guys too. If you don't have any Leo placements, it's still either a cusp of a house placement, right? So like if you are a Gemini rising, it's probably either the cusp of your third or somewhere in your third, and maybe the cusp of your fourth. If you're a Virgo rising, it may be in your 10th house or your 11th, or, it's going to be in your 12th house or your 11th. Okay. So if you are Taurus rising, then it's probably your 4th house. Okay. See what I mean? It depends on where you were born, because you could have a huge house or you could have intercepted houses. It doesn't matter. It's still in your chart. Are we all, like, everyone give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you're following along here. And if you don't have a chart, you can put your info into astro.com or any of those. Please get one that gives you a wheel, because the ones that give you a printout will not give you where Leo is. They're just going to tell you where your placements are. I can't even. My lovely, lovely niece was like, oh, let me send you my chart. And what she sent me was like 2 columns. And that's not how that works. Okay, everybody's got it. Does anybody not get it? Hey, Maricela, I think I see you tomorrow. Does anyone not get it? That everyone has Leo, or understand what house you may have it in? If you're a Taurus rising, it depends on the degree, but you could be late 3rd house. You could have a little 4th house, maybe. It depends. If you're early Taurus rising, it's going to be more towards your 3rd. If you're late Taurus rising, it's going to be more towards your 4th. Okay, great. So okay, great. All right, so moving forward. So replay viewers, you can stop and look at where you have Leo in the chart. Mine is on the cusp of my 11th. On the cusp of my 12th, but it's mostly in my 11th house. So what's wonderful is that we can use the house themes. So I'm going to go through the themes of the house so that you all know how to manifest, right? I'll give you an example. My Leo is mostly in the 11th house, right? So where my Leo planets, you can do either of your planets. If you want to manifest for both houses, you can. This is not like, this is energy work. It's not an astrological aspect or an astrological calculation, right? So there's room here. Mine is in the house of long-term plans. It's in the house of friends. It's in the house of like the collective, internet, hopes, wishes, and dreams, all that good stuff, right? The humanitarian. So that is where I really look for how I want to manifest, because I experienced for sure a little time shifting. You can do more than manifest. You can actually do a little timeline shifting for this. Last year, my mom had died 3 weeks before. There was a lot of discourse going on in the family that was uncomfortable, to say the least. The original plan is we were going to stay there, and that house would get left to us. Let's just say that didn't happen. So all of a sudden, I was understanding that after I had taken care of my mom and I was exhausted, I still now had to pack up her house right away and get it ready to sell, and try to figure out, in a market that was just every day, houses were more and more expensive, where my kids and I were going, because it was going to take months and months for the will to settle. And if you all remember, I took time off to take care of my mom. I thought through all of that last Lionsgate portal to feel good that day. I made sure, and sometimes I slip back, but I really worked on feeling good that day and not spending too much of my energy in spaces where I was angry or frustrated. There was enough of that the day before, and that would still be there for me the next day to deal with and process. But that day, I really worked on it. I worked on being in a really good place, having like a full YouTube channel in swing, being in a house, a green backyard, being, all of that. Hi, Shauna. All of that. And that's where I am today. And if you had told me from the position I stood this time last year to where I am today, like, yes, it took hard work. It didn't happen by accident, but like, gosh, I feel like a lot of things are just coming in that feel like helpful hand or support from universe. So if you have it in your 11th house or on your 11th house cusp, you would want to do long-term plans. What does it look like in now from a year? And again, if you don't get it today, you'll do it tomorrow. Get your feet in some grass. I mean, it's Leo season. You want to absorb a little sun. But really, it's an all day. You can do a little hour ceremony, but it's kind of, I find, more effective to like spend a good 24 hours feeling like you already woke up in this life that you want. I said it during the transits video with Connie Joe, and I'll say it again now. Leo is about being creative. It's also about the stage. You know, Leos are that house is synonymous with acting, the stage, what have you. One of the best things to manifest during the Lionsgate is manifesting that you're on the stage in the role that you wrote for yourself, instead of you being on the stage in a role that everything else in environment and circumstances wrote for you. It's really, really liberating. The sister sign on the opposite is Aquarius, right? Which is about liberation and change, and the planet that we have that's kind of opposing, that kind of feels like a womp wah on our Leo season the last 2 years has been like Saturn. But Saturn right now is in retrograde. It's giving you a chance to review, revise, right? And it's also in Aquarius where it wants to give you solutions. It wants to provide another way that you didn't think of, a unique solution for whatever feels like it's blocking you, how Saturn usually feels. So let's go through the first house. Okay, that's beautiful. So in the first house, you can make that about you. You can make that about your person. You can do, if you want to get your health back up and running to where you feel like I am ready to like implement a nutritional change or work out more, or you know, I want to feel more comfortable like with what I display, with like I want to get more comfortable in having my own style, literally. And I know that sounds superficial, but it's not. I have a daughter that we went to CVS to get like our boosters and stuff, and she's in like her little Victorian outfit in the middle of summer, and she has a straight up 1980s parasol, 1800s parasol to keep the sun off of her like porcelain skin. She marches to her own drummer. That has to come from the inside. So when I say manifest, like really beating to your own drum aesthetically in any way, anything you've wanted to do that also brings you that like I am wearing what I want to wear, not what other people feel is suitable. I am doing with my hair, with my makeup, with my body, going to get tattoos, any of that stuff. Anything that you've held back on, now is the time. You're writing the role, right? Also, just who you are, how you present yourself. If you want to get more confident in speaking to others, any of that. How you present yourself in general. First house, great ways to manifest. Think about stepping into who you feel you are and letting people perceive you however they perceive you, but really stepping into who you are and never watering that down, because people will perceive you how they want to perceive you. That was important. Okay, second house, Leo energy. Second house, you want to manifest on this Lionsgate, and we are going to do readings too through the elements, and then I'm going to give away 8 free readings, so don't go anywhere. But if you are second house Leo, it's on the second house cusp, or you have a lot of planets in the second house in Leo. This is great for, I mean, it's good for your money to fold and not jingle. Use that to think about your finances. And also, again, Leos are able to be on a stage. Leos have, you know, some confidence. And so if there's something that you don't have confidence about in your finances, like manifest like getting better control. So you feel like you're controlling your finances and that feels comfortable. That there's like, you know, there can be shame around finances. So writing a story where it's a story you wrote for yourself to play out instead of what other people can look like. You know, go on TikTok. God, there's tons and tons of stuff for like getting your debt straightened out. Connie Jo and I also talk about that in the transit video. And that one's on Soul Navigation. It was last Tuesday, so it's not even a week old. But yeah, there's plenty of ways. Like, but also your self-worth. Second house is ruled by Venus. It is about our self-worth and our self-value. And that, my loves, is everything. Because when we do not value ourselves, we will put ourselves in position to be loved by people that don't know how to love us or don't see us. And it also has to do with abundance and what you attract. You will attract what you think you deserve. So like working on your self-esteem is almost at the core of everything else, the ball rolling, getting things fixed. So if this is second house energy for you, work on the self-value and the abundance will come in. If this is third house energy, my God, communications, writing, creativity, siblings, these are all things you can manifest about. Taking short trips. So like within your state or within your, yeah. So, you know, that's a great comment. And I mean, that's most people. I think the average American is at least $13,000 in debt. That's, you know, so I feel like taking the shame out of it is really healthy. And that helps the self-value. It all feeds itself. But I'm telling you, go on TikTok and look under like debt reduction, debt collection, all of that. There's a million ways for free people will tell you to kind of feel like you have more control over that. Because a lot of times debt collectors use scare tactics, whatever. So going back to the third house, writing, you know, it's art. Technology makes it so easy. You can talk into your notes on your phone, right? If you have an idea for a creative project, something, a blog, anything like that, third house is great, but especially for writing. Short trips, either better relationships with your siblings, boundaries with your siblings. It doesn't matter as much as you now manifesting that you write the story that you want to play and not the story that you think that's already been written for you that you don't have a choice about. A fourth house, this is home, this is real estate. So the way you manifest from that, it's also family lineage. It's generational trauma. It's the house of mom. It's the house of like home environment. That's such a personal house to have this in, that if you wanted to manifest on this Lionsgate using that fourth house energy, it could be as simple as really making things a sanctuary slowly. And I know that sounds like it also takes money, but you'd be shocked at the stuff at the dollar store you can get today. Even if you're renting, there's like stick and peel, backgrounds for your backsplash, just doing anything that makes you feel like, especially if it's a home that, and it's not your dream home, right? It's the home you could afford. Again, feeling like you're playing out a story that somebody else wrote for you instead of what you really want. There are small ways that you can make improvements, or you can manifest being in a place you really want to be in. You really, really can. I mean, I did that. So it's possible. And the thing is that once the energy, you know, we all live in a very practical, pragmatic world, right? Made of material things. I'm not blind to that. And I really don't love any kind of like toxic spirituality that makes you feel like, oh, you just manifest this and, you know, all of the oppression you experience or anything is gone. It's not that. But when you're manifesting things, it does change the energetic vibe around you. It does change the energy. You will find universe giving you more help than obstacles. It's just part of the Venn diagram of changing your circumstances. But it really does work. So if you have this in the 5th house, oh my God, the 5th house is one of the most packed houses. It's children, it's gambling, it's risk, it's lovers, it's affairs, it's creativity. So if you have this in 5th house and you feel like your life is boring, you can literally manifest more exciting things. And who doesn't feel like their life? I mean, I have all of you, but you know, a lot of us are home a lot of the time. Things aren't completely back to, I don't think normal is, things will change. Things have changed in the last couple of years. But like for certain, you know, Connie Jo teases about that being the house of Disneyland. You can manifest for children. You can manifest for, yeah. So, okay. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, then the 5th house is great for a creative process. How do you creatively get out of that feeling of overwhelmed? Like, how do you make that work? Because a lot of times when we feel overwhelmed, you can't manifest to not have as much on your plate because maybe you're a single mom with 4 kids or 3 kids or 2 kids and you have more than one job, because I've been there. I've been a single mom with 2 teenagers, a child on a feeding tube that had special needs, and working 3 jobs. You know, and like it would be nice for somebody to say, oh, don't feel so overwhelmed. Haha, well, this is my life. These are my responsibilities and I love my kids and I'm happy to be here in my life. But what you can do is find the creative ways to make your life work better for you. Again, this is about writing the role that you want to play for yourself and not what the world has handed you and feel like you're stuck with. The 5th house is also about, love affairs. If things have been crickets in that department and you want romance, because the 7th house is partnership, the 8th house is intimacy, the 5th house is, it's romance. It's the courtship. It's really interesting. So there's lots of different ways. Obviously, you can manifest where kids are concerned. There are tons of different ways in the 5th house you can manifest. 6th house, just going over this with a client. I had a lovely, beautiful, wonderful client yesterday who is 6th house Leo. And what was crazy is we had almost our whole session and then we looked to see what house she was at so we could talk about how she could manifest that. And we had already talked about one of the ways she felt like she couldn't keep up. You can do both, Nicole, because, it's not an astrological aspect where we have to do what you can absolutely use both houses to manifest for yourself if you're interested in both. If you have Leo on the cusp, but your planets are there, then you have Leo energy kind of in both houses. But I had this lovely client and we had just talked about like, there were more things she wanted to do, but she wasn't feeling good. Her health has kind of taken a turn because her energy was down. And it was like, if I could just get enough energy up, if I could just get enough sleep so that I can put the effort towards these things that would make I feel like that's me too. Like, I would like to be doing more things. I would like to be back to making videos all the time. But until I get my health and my sleep schedule together, my energy runs out before my list gets done. And I think that's a lot of us. The 6th house is about routine. It's about what we do every day. It's also about pets. It's also about the job we do every day. But if you're looking to manifest for you, this is a great place to like manifest what it looks like in a year from now, or what it looks like during this year if you had your everyday stuff mastered, because it's also about self-mastery. That's Virgo's happy house, you know? So in what way can we contribute to the little daily things? Sometimes I post this picture on my Instagram where it's a ladder, and the one ladder, they both start the same place and end the same place. And one ladder has these huge steps in between it, and the other one has little steps. It's easier to get where we're going with the little steps. So that every day, I know people are like, oh, the 6th house is like the least exciting house, or it's day-to-day minutia. But it really is, again, it's one of those keys along with the 2nd house on how we make the bigger things happen, you know? Slow and steady often wins the race. And, you know, if you want to like manifest working with pets, or being someplace where you can have pets again, if you're not all of that is 6th house. Self-mastery. 6th house is awesome. I actually have my North Node in my 6th house, so maybe I'm a little biased, but like, I know that 6th house is about service and also that self-mastery. So then it's for me to, you know, share with everyone. And my North Node is in Pisces, so it's supposed to be spiritual. It's supposed to be spiritual teaching. But I had to get my day-to-day, like my day-to-day manages my North Node almost. Like if my day-to-day isn't right, then I have a harder time executing that North Node. It's like I had to get my shit together so that I could fully live in my North Node. Okay. It's still not all together. Let me be clear. I'm still working on it. 7th house. Okay. Do I need to say it? 7th house. If your Leo is in your 7th house, if your Leo energy is in your 7th house or on your 7th house cusp, this is where if you want to manifest a relationship, commitment. I am very lucky, Jasmine. Yes. And so, but also it's not that much luck. Everybody is available to theirs as well. So if you want a commitment, also, listen, if you have any court stuff coming up, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through custody, if you are fighting over a copyright, it doesn't matter. If you have court stuff coming up this year and your Leo energy is in the 7th, take advantage of that. Take the next, and I'm going to say this for the people that are new, either in the live chat, because the replay viewers heard this. This portal stays open for like almost 48 hours. So it's not, you can do all of this in the next 2 days. Because it's not just about it being 8-8 in Lionsgate and it being right. There's a lining of Sirius and Orion and the Earth, and so that stays put for 48 hours. So when it turns midnight tonight, you can still manifest all this stuff. Hello. And also for the new people, I'm giving away 8 readings at the end. And we're also going to do we're going to do card readings for the elements. Okay. So 7th house, God, manifest winning in court, manifest a committed relationship, manifest a partnership, and what you want that to look like. And when I'm saying manifest, I'm saying like, you know, 7th house is also about Libra. It's charming AF. Manifest getting what you want out of partnerships, out of commitment, by letting yourself be naturally charming. Unfortunately, sometimes we think about charming, we think about like schmaltzy or like fake. We all have natural charm. Use it. Like, literally use that. The seventh house is about other people. Sometimes we can manifest just on the idea when it's seventh house energy, especially with Leo. Leo understands the power of what feels like an atta girl or approval from other people. Giving that out to other people also helps you manifest in. Eighth house. Eighth house energy is psychological, deep work. It's deep. It's also intimacy. It's other people's money. It's taxes. And, you know, yes, it's a cult. Like, if you want to manifest feeling less, you know, this is a great house to manifest like passive income because it's other people's money. This is a great house to like manifest intimacy with somebody. Maybe you're in a committed relationship, but it's missing intimacy. Personally, I'd rather have the intimacy. So this is a great house to, you know, use. And you can, it's the occult. You can use crystals to help you everyone can use crystals, but like, it's going to be more powerful. You could use a reading. You could literally use a little reading in the next couple of days to like help you understand, you know, if there's anything that's coming up that you're like, yes, I've wanted that, and anything, pull some cards for yourself. But this is a great house. Also, like, I know this sounds silly, but like, go on TikTok and find like accountants giving away like tax advice, and you can find that even though it's not tax season, because that stuff will still be on their page. You could just look it up by hashtag or look it up by subject. This is a great way to figure out how to make other people's money work for you and not in a scammy, gross way. Ninth house energy. Oh my God, teaching, higher learning, higher ideals, travel. Right? So what is the other side of that? If you have ninth house video, if you have ninth house, I just read Maricella's like the video. Thank you, Maricella. If you have ninth house Leo energy, this is a great place to manifest travel, but it's also like taking the time to like really, really learn about where you want to go. Taking the time to like finish learning a subject that you want to teach. Putting energy into the thing that you hold closely to yourself as far as ideals, things that make you feel satiated, your ideologies. Understanding other cultures, all of these things. But with the ninth house, you can really manifest. The travel is great. And I mean, we talked about it on Connie Joe's transit video on Tuesday. There are so many ways now to travel and be paid. It's not as expensive as it used to be. Calabria is paying people $30,000 to move there. Yes, you have to become a citizen, so it's kind of more than travel. But if you wanted to go travel and live abroad for like a couple of years, that's available and you can get paid for it. But also, as far as teaching goes, like, I think I'm feeling it I don't know if this is for somebody in the replay audience or here, but there's somebody who thinks that they're still a student and that you may have Virgo energy, and there's something you thought like you would like to teach or share with others, but you may feel a little less confident. Leo is the time to feel the confidence. This is the time to, like, you know, you don't have to know everything to know what you know really well and to be able to teach it. So having more confidence in the idea that you're ready to go forth and teach, and there's a million platforms, there's a million ways for you to do that. And if it's ninth house energy, chances are you're going to make sure it lines up with your ideologies, which means you're not going to be grimy about it. Like, have the confidence. And also, I'm feeling that there are people that you're seeing out there that are teaching that you're thinking like, is the ethics right on that? So then you're hard on your own self for ethics. But there's at least somebody, if not in here, in the replay viewers, that you are ready. You are ready, and you can start small. You don't have to say, I'm the expert to end all experts on this subject, but you can start in the beginning and share what you know. If you're feeling being called, and maybe that's not just if you have 9th house Leo energy, but especially if you do. 10th house energy, this is public reputation, career, higher self, right? 10th house is also like how you want to be perceived. It's very public. It's also like to be seen and have a career. If you have your Leo energy there, especially if you have like North Node in Leo in the 10th house, you're supposed to have a little bit of fame and notoriety within the community of whatever it is that your calling is. Especially if you would have to like step into the calling. But 10th house, holy cow. 10th house Leo energy is fire. It is notoriety. So what's funny is that people who have Leo North Node come from an Aquarius South Node. And it's that nodal axis I find the most curious. All of them have their challenges, but it's literally Aquarius South Nodes feel way more quiet, being brilliant in the corner and going, here's the results, go use them, have a good life, and being observant. And Leo North Node wants you to have a little bit of notoriety, wants you to be known for it. Then when it's put in the 10th house, you have somebody with a 4th house South Node in Aquarius that just wants to be, you know, not looked at, not put on stage, not all of that. But it is your mission. If anyone didn't know that, North Node of Leo in the 10th house. But all the healing and everything else that you do and everything you go through will get you ready eventually for that. And then, you know, the 10th house is also about public reputation. Again, we're talking about Leo and the Lionsgate, this Leo energy, as far as being on stage and being in the role that you would write for yourself and not what other people have assigned you to, have written for you. In the 10th house, this is so incredibly important because we talk about public perception and public reputation in this house. And so that really living and manifesting a life for yourself, and not being worried about what other people will think of it, as long as it's your mission, as long as it satiates your soul, as long as it calls to you, also important. 11th house, I went over in the beginning, that is long-term plans, it's friends, it's internet. If you want to do stuff on the internet, that's a great way. You know, it's the house of the humanitarian. There's so much, but like you can manifest sitting in the energy of what you want it to feel like. If there's somebody that you love and that you want to manifest them being in your house every day, like literally sit in the energy as if. And that's what you're supposed to be doing with all the house. Sit in the energy for when you decide you're going to manifest. And again, that's between today and the 10th. It doesn't end at midnight tonight. And nobody would not have Leo or 5th house in their chart. I'm confused a little bit, Adva. So everyone has Leo. The birth chart is a snapshot of the sky. So whether you have Leo placements or not, is regardless. You have Leo energy somewhere in your chart because Leo is in the sky. because that's everyone's sky, right? So like all the constellations are in the sky, and everyone has a fifth house. It doesn't mean that you don't have placements. So you would apply it wherever the Leo is sitting, either in the cusp, and if Leo is intercepted, then you're just going to apply whatever house Leo's in. Because again, we're not doing astrological, like, yeah, you have absolutely, you have every sign, is all the energies, all the constant, because it's literally the sky. So the sky has all of the energies. So let's go on. And for anyone that's new or just coming in, I'm giving away 8 readings, and we're still going to do readings by element. So the last one, 12th house energy. 12th house energy is really interesting. You can manifest that in all kinds of spiritual ways. You could meditate, and you can also do things privately. Like, I found 12th house energy and manifestation really interesting, because what is available to you in that 12th house? 12th house things feels like it's hidden from other people. I often find people who have like the moon in the 12th house, but it's almost like just hitting that first house, feel like they wear their heart on the sleeve, but they feel very misunderstood. So when you have Leo energy in your 12th house, you can feel like possibly you have a little less confidence than you should, or you have like a thing where you just don't feel seen. You don't feel like anyone would put you on a stage, because that part of your chart is very hidden. Like, the thing is, with the 4th house, it's where we choose to hide. It's what we don't want anyone to know. It's the most private part that we choose to keep private. The 12th house almost seems like an enigma, like it's what's behind the curtain. But often what's in our 12th house, we feel like everyone sees, and no one really understands that part. So, but also we can find fame in the 12th house. We find institutions. We find mental health in the 12th house. Doing things that cherish your mental health, that cherish whatever you feel isn't seen, for like you. Sometimes we don't love the parts of us we feel other people can't see. The parts that are misunderstood. We will literally expend so much energy in trying to be understood. And things that are in the 12th house are a little they're a little harder to have other people see. And putting that love, manifesting by putting extra love yourself on the things that you feel others cannot see about you. Other people can't like meet you where you are with that energy, is such an amazing way to manifest for this Lionsgate, to be in the role that you want to be in and not the role you feel like you were assigned. I'm just seeing a whole bunch of comments, so I'm scrolling. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dana. Sending you tons of love. Yeah, everybody's been feeling this Chiron in Aries because now it's in retrograde and it keeps going back. But that's probably a different transit than your Chiron, just so you don't think that that's going to keep happening as long as it, is still Chiron in Aries. It doesn't change over to Taurus for a couple of years. So I don't want you to get nervous and think that can keep happening. That was probably another transit in your chart, my love. And you are more than welcome to vent as much as you like. That's what I love about this community. but it probably wasn't Chiron that I would see. If I was looking at your chart and looking for that, I would probably see it in other ways. It's unlikely, especially if you're over like 35. It's unlikely that that was Chiron, because at this point we start stepping into the healer part of the wounded healer. But you have all of my, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. No, we've been going through the houses, Sherry, and I just finished up with 12th house, but the 12th house, I just want to repeat that the 12th house, one of the best ways to manifest is like, yes, all the spiritual stuff, talking to your guides, talking to passed over loved ones, asking them for divine help. But also, I really truly feel like loving the parts of you that you feel are unseen and that you must feel are the parts that you're supposed to fix or change because other people can't see them. Manifesting that way is huge. Huge. Okay, so we're going to go into element readings, and then I'm going to give away 8 free personal readings at the end. I literally had to get a new Light Seers deck. And also, for anyone who didn't hear me, Connie Joe's, let me just do that real quick. Connie Joe's scheduler, I'm going to copy that link. Drop it in. That is Connie Joe's booking link. She's having a flash sale from now until basically 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning Eastern time for the Lionsgate portal. So just like I had a flash sale, she's having a flash sale, and she is so accurate. And she's gentle and very loving in the space. I can't, and she's always like rooting for everyone. She's a beautiful human. She's one of my favorite humans, but also just insanely accurate. Like, honestly, if Connie Joe was like not super warm, like warm peach pie, for her accuracy alone, I would put up with a personality for her accuracy. But she's got both. So I encourage everybody to go get your reading before the end of tonight. And also, Connie Joe and I are also doing these really interesting dual sessions. And it has been very, very interesting. Like, she'll see something and I can feel exactly what that's supposed to be, and it resonates with whoever we're working with. It's just been, the experience has been unbelievable. So if you already get readings with me and you already get readings with her, or you're thinking of, we have dual sessions. That is on my website. It's also on her link tree. Connie Joe is amazing. And I have zero issues advocating for other readers, astrologers, whatever. And it's interesting, we're actually able to do the dual sessions because we work so differently. So then when you put us together, it's literally all the clair senses, because between us, we have all 5. It's a trauma-informed space. And then we look at everything. We look at the messages. We do like an energy, melding, like some energy work on the way in. And then we do like a closing energy work. And I do a little Reiki. I mean, it's just everything in one appointment. It's really kind of cool. And that is on my website. But if you just want to go see Connie Joe, I don't blame you, and the link is in the comments. And I'll put them in the comments of the video when I'm done. Okay, so we're gonna look at fire signs first. And then tomorrow I'm gonna start doing like full readings. I think what I've decided I'm gonna do is do monthly and bi-monthly full readings. And then in between, I will do whichever is the top viewed. So if in week 1, if in week 1 I do full readings for all the 12 signs, then week 2 will be like a spiritual video, like a teaching video, an energetic video, childhood healing video, a pick a card, and like whatever the top 3 watched signs were from the week behind, they get another little reading. Got it? And then the next week we'll do another mid-month full readings, and then the following week will be the same. So the person who, you know, the sign that gets watched the most, that can change every time. Okay, I had to go get an entire new deck of light seers because I wore my other one out. And I'm actually that's one of the things I might give away on Friday night. We're doing 80s tarot on Soul Navigation. I have my outfit. It's a surprise. We're going to play 80s music and do 80s trivia and give away prizes. And that's this Friday night at 7:30. I'm not sure that was your progressed Pluto, because progressed Pluto doesn't move, Jacqueline. Sorry, Pluto moves so slow in the regular chart, and so the progressed Pluto is the Pluto. The progressed Pluto is really never much different than the birth Pluto. It's probably a different transit. I just don't want to make anybody nervous that like that's something coming up for them. And with who she said it was and what the connection was, it's likely to show up in a different house than wherever her Pluto may be. Because Pluto's generational, so it stays in the same sign for years and years. So like tons and tons and tons of people have the same Pluto sign, and then it just kind of doesn't move in the progress chart. What did it change to, Sherry? Dana, do you mind telling me your like generation? Okay. Well, that would be, it wouldn't, so Jacqueline, I understand what you're saying, but it would almost be the same on your birth chart, because Pluto just doesn't, like we don't, when we're doing progress chart astrology, we don't really look at the outer planets because they're bit, I know that there could be transits, but no, it's fine. I totally get it. But if you look, they probably all went over your birth chart as well, because it just doesn't, the sun only moves like 3 signs our whole lives, maybe 4 if you're a late degree sun sign, and if you live a really long time. So think about how fast the sun moves compared to Pluto. It takes years and years to go through a sign. Yeah, that makes sense, Dana. All right, so fire signs. I am looking at what has just happened, what's coming up, or what's going on, and then what's coming up. It's interesting. In the place of yourselves, fire signs, there is 5 of Cups. So that is a couple of things. That could be something that was walked away from, when you didn't want to walk away from it. This is energy that we'd be leaving. It's also grieving. Five of Cups can also be a little bit of a struggle with self-medication of some of. Oh, no problem. No problem. I just don't want, I want you to understand too that that probably happened in the birth chart. We don't have to, usually those kind of transits show up in regular transits in a birth chart. Please don't apologize. I know that you're really just trying to be helpful. Okay, so this is really interesting. So we have the Five of Cups in what's going on in the energy concerning you, but kind of that already passed. This is for fire signs. Aries, Leo. Yes. Well, you can do sun, moon, rising for this. But also like the house. So like if you're a 5th house sun, a 9th house sun, or a 1st house sun, this might apply to you too. And then in the energy of another, we have them stepping into fulfillment, and like self-love. I always say that 9 of Cups is a great place to be, because then when the Ace of Cups comes, that gives you 10 of Cups. And it's going to be really interesting as this reading progresses. So they have just stepped into like a little bit of self-worth, a little bit of self-esteem. I really like that. This is for other, and the other energy, if you've never seen one of my readings, the other is whatever other energy is impacting you the most. So this could be your person. This could be job. This could be family stuff. This could also be, as we are growing, this could be the side of us that we feel like while we're integrating our growth and our healing, the two sides of us that kind of are trying to battle out. In the middle, the energy that the two energies create, alchemy, right? It's like a composite chart. If you take two people's charts and put them together, it creates its own chart. The center row is like the composite chart of the reading. We have the Hierophant. You know, the thing about the Five of Cups is the Five of Cups means you're also taking time to grieve something, whether that's a change in you, a change in somebody else, something that has moved on, sometimes without us, but like taking time to grieve is so important. When we live in denial, it's really hard to get growth out of that stage. The Five of Cups and the Hierophant make total sense to me. The Nine of Cups and the Hierophant make total sense to me, especially this Hierophant card. This is higher power. This is feeling like universe, whatever you consider higher power is has come in to help. And this is the energy that you're walking out of or that has most affected. And again, this is fire signs. I should have used my other streaming thing so I could have the little labels up. Lee, if you're still around, if you just want to write that we're doing fire signs reading, that would be great. In your current energy, we have the Page of Cups. This is an I love you. This is an apology. This is, you know, it's very Piscean. It's that little stirring of love. And it's like you grieving for something that could no longer be. This is why I say, like, it's so important to feel all your feelings, because you grieving for something that could no longer be can open you up. This feels new. Yes, it could be an apology from somebody, but it feels new. Your person definitely had issues with like feeling okay. They were not feeling good about themselves, and they have recently just come into replenishing self-esteem and self-value. So whether you're getting an apology from somebody else or not, or just the I love you, something now is coming in. And then on their side, we have this amazing King of Wands. I personally like the King of Wands. I especially like this King of Wands. It's the confident. It's so perfect that this is coming out on our 8/8 Lionsgate reading, right? With Simba in the back there. And this comes with fire. It comes with desire. It comes with, it comes with passion. Not just in a sexual way, but like for life. And like this reading follows so much because it's easy to feel passionate. It's easy to feel like you got the pep in your step, that you got your swagger back, all of it after you go through a healing and a 9 of Cups. Self-esteem, like realignment, feeling good about yourself, all of that. And in the middle, fire signs, here we have an I love you or an apology on one side. We have somebody that was feeling bad, feeling good again, and now is really kind of feeling their confidence, their impetus. And we have, I'm holding it. Yeah, no. We have the 8 of Wands, which is communication. It's action. It's action where there wasn't. And that is in the alchemy. So I have to tell you, I have fire sign Venus and I have fire signs a whole bunch else. My moon is in fire sign. I have a whole bunch of fire sign placements. And interestingly enough, I got communication from somebody I haven't gotten communication in forever. It was a very good thing. I was very happy and peaceful about it. But this is going on now. I would say that you could probably expect that communication in the next week or so. Also between August 13th and 17th, and I just got my full confirmation. If you don't get it, like in the next couple of days, I'm going to say you have until like the 18th and the 19th to look out for that communication. So I said when the Ace of Cups comes with the 9 of Cups, but we have the Page of Cups in the 9 of Cups. Here we have the 10. This is in your row, fire signs. This is love. This is love when you can blend a family. This is feeling, honestly, so much love for someone, for whatever family looks like to you. This is, the 10 of Pentacles is like the committed, the house, I always call that the happy ending card. This is just overwhelming love in love. These are the Light Seers by Chris Ann. They're like a must now. It's in theirs, they have the Judgment card upside down. So if this person I feel like this person is wanting to come forward. They want to come with confidence. They might not be ready to explore everything in their past. Not just yet. It's on the table, but it's not in the upright yet where they want to explore what they learned from the past, so they don't want to repeat it. I think the past is painful. That's where they brought them down and their self-confidence wasn't good. So this self-confidence that feels really good right now, and also the King of Wands, that confidence feels like it's overdue for this other energy, right? And so the Judgment card is here. They are going to be looking at their past to figure out the mistakes so they can apply it to the now, to help shift future. But for right now, they're having a hard time looking at that. They're having a hard time exploring that. It may be a little too fragile. In the middle here, the other thing we have is we have the happiness, and we have, like, I understand at some point I have to look at my past so I don't repeat whatever happened here that put everyone in this situation, but they're not ready yet. We also have the Six of Cups. So this Six of Cups, sometimes Six of Cups is soulmate. This Six of Cups, I have a hard time thinking about anything but childhood healing, right? And so it was in reverse. I gotta tell you, one of the things that I had a client do this week was go look at, it's on Soul Navigation, my childhood healing video, because that's the one I have up right now. And re-watching that and doing the inner child exercises. And the reason why is that sometimes we are doing all the things, right? We're like, but I'm doing the manifestation, I'm doing the mantras, I'm like working on things, I am taking accountability, and I still feel like a stuck energy. Sometimes our inner child still needs a little healing. Sometimes that's the energy. I always say that we try to turn out to be the adult our inner child, our wounded child needed. So going back and doing that inner child healing can really help release stuck energy. And so I'm just going to like because this is coming up in the future where you bump up against it. And again, it feels like it's a little fragile, and this feels so good. So like it doesn't, for the fire signs, I'm going to tell you that like it will come up. It may not be time. You know, when we work in trauma-informed spaces, like one of the things that I know as an astrologer is that I can see things in a chart. And some people are ready for me to tell them everything, give it to me. And some people are in a place where they're doing so well, but yet things are still a little delicate. And laying on like my hubris and saying, oh, I can see this and I can see that, to prove that to them, whether I'm good at my job or not, and putting them into fight or flight. Or like there's times and there's a way to gauge what feels safe and comfortable for somebody else. For fire signs, the childhood wounds might come knocking on your door. It's okay if you wait a little while to do that inner child healing. When you're ready, you can go watch that video, or there's a million people between YouTube, TikTok, wherever, that do inner child healing. Honestly, do the one that you feel called to. Do the one where you feel safest with the person on the other side of the screen, or the practitioner on the other side of the screen. Like your safety and your comfort level and how you navigate exploring that, depending on how traumatic it was, is so much more important than anyone's likes or, you know, popularity or hubris. And please remember that. I kind of love this because we have the 10 of Cups. I mean, it is the 9 of Cups, the Page of Cups, the 10 of Cups. There was grieving that happened here. There's universe and, you know, higher powers stepping in. There's confidence reinitiated, and there's communication. Right? I mean, there's a lot of progress in this reading. Aw, thanks, Dana. You can email me too if you have questions. I was just trying to say, like, progress Pluto kind of isn't a thing because it doesn't move in the progress chart. So, like, any transits you see in the progress chart, you'll also see in the birth chart. And I don't mean to make you feel like you have less answers. And I'm happy to help you try to find things that will make you feel like you have more peace with that. Okay, so now we're going to do earth signs. And I am giving away 8 personal readings, so don't go away because I might ask you a question based on the video. for one of those readings. So stick around. All right, let's shake things up and let's do my Ziggy Stardust. Or maybe we're not, because somehow this deck got put together. Okay, we're not meant to use that tonight because nobody has time for me to sit here and put the deck back the right way. Earth signs. We're going to use the Mystic Tarot. Is this the Mystic Tarot? Lord help me. Mystical Moments Tarot. There we go. If you are just joining us, we went through the houses, how to use this energy to manifest, and that portal isn't just a portal because it's August 8th, 8/8. It's a portal that'll be open for the next 2 days because it is Orion and Sirius lining up with the Earth and the Sun in a way that creates a portal that allows us to shift energy and timelines even a little bit. So we went over all the houses, where your Leo energy might be. And if you're not sure, that's in the beginning. So I'll tell you how to find it. So don't worry. And then we're giving away the 8 readings, and we are on Earth signs to do just a little Lionsgate reading into the energy. Do y'all have any questions or like comments? What kind of, since I'm making room and restructuring, how do you like the monthly, bi-monthly? How do you like the monthly, bi-monthly full readings? And then, of course, I'm doing the energy check-ins anyway on Friday nights on Soul Navigation. And then leaving room for other videos in the weeks in between. And what kind of videos do you want to see? I'm curious. Because the channel really, it's not here for me to hear myself talk. I hear myself talk all day long in client sessions. So it's for all of you guys. It's to be available and accessible for what you all need. So I would love to hear feedback on what you want to see. Okay, earth signs, earth signs. What do the earth signs need to know for the next couple of weeks regarding this? Okay. You know, if I do a past lives one, I will absolutely see if Stacy would like to come in and do that with me, because she's amazing. Stacy on Soul Navigation, if you haven't, Stacy is amazing. I get to work with some incredible ladies. Woo! That was a lot. Okay, let's do this the right way so everything is where it's supposed to be. So many Leo cards coming out. Okay, right? Connie Joe's doing a whole Chiron series, but I'd be happy to look at it. I'd be happy to go over that too. And I promise you, Connie Joe is gung-ho. She's been just as excited for me to get going again, because she would like, there's things she would like to do together. So I will absolutely, right? Because I want to give you guys as much information as I can. Again, it's not about me. Wow, that was weird. I didn't expect to see that one there. Where'd the other one go? For real, where'd the other one go? It fell on the floor. Hold on, peoples. It's like it disappeared. It really could not go that far. It's a card. It's so necessary. Hold on. Doing a thing. Holy cow. Maybe the Lionsgate portal sucked it up. I'm determined, though. Well, there's that box of matches. Okay. Universe did not like that card. I don't know what to say. I have looked everywhere, and I even like stuck my hand and my foot all the way. I'm looking. I just read, look on your chair. Nope. And I just gave myself like a proper JFK airport, had some metal on me, pat down. It's not there. If you know, you know. Yeah, but you all watched it, and then it could have only gone over here. I even looked on the side. So crazy. You all don't have, right? Well, evidently, it was not meant to be. And the cards are flying for earth signs. That was like 3. I give up. Now the cat is in. What are you doing? I don't trust him. He likes to knock stuff over. So if the light goes off, we'll all know why. I'm going to have to get my like tiny little 13-year-old to like go under the things. Oh, what is this? Because I really like that card. Okay, I don't mind that one either. Earth signs, this must be important. Because like mid-fly, universe decided, nope. That's all I had to see. Immediately no, and they hit our card. Okay, great. Okay, so we have Ace of Wands. Actually, there's a lot of fire energy in the earth signs. So we have the Ace of Wands. Again, a new beginning. This is something exciting. And also, you actually have all, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have like 1, 2, 3. You have like 6 out of 9 cards are fire energy in the earth patterns. So time to take advantage of this Leo energy. The Ace of Wands is, it's like, think about like the Kundalini energy. It is a new beginning, but it's like a spark of between knowledge and confidence and energy and impetus, like all of it. Ace of Wands is universe wanting to give you something that you just want to do again. That like isn't, where are you? That isn't a have to, but a want to. And so something might have come in and been offered. I think you might have been worried like that either seems too good to be true, or how can I do that? I want to do that, but I have all these other responsibilities as a good little earth sign, right? And like, so how do you do it? Then we have the Fool card on the other side. The other energy can be your person, it can be work, it can be your kids, it could be whatever energy felt like it was most impacting you. And that's affecting the energy. This is the energy that's either dissipating or the energy you're coming out of. It could be last week or the whole last year. Okay. Woo. In the middle between those, the composite chart, right? So we have the Fool for them. That's either falling in love or just wanting to take a leap without looking. So both parties, both energies are very much right now about new starts. So earth signs, new starts. The thing is worrying like, if I jump, do I jump right in the alligator's mouth, right? Because this looks so good, and it would be just like an earth sign to give themselves anxiety over, but how does that work out? Pragmatically, how is my foundation? Is it still stable? Like, is this going to make things worse or better than they were? Because while earth signs are very grounded, they are not immune to anxiety. Lee, if you get a chance, can you just put up that we're on earth signs? You may have already done that. But if you could do it again, I would super appreciate it. Then, no, we cannot be running out of energy. Hold on. We have the Queen of Wands. So this is like a big upgrade from the Ace of Wands. This is truly feeling like very creative, very in charge, very hopeful, very like, I got this. I also almost just set my jean jacket on fire. Let's move the candle, shall we? Ta-da! Now it won't die. Okay. I like your little emoji choice, Lee. So this Queen of Wands is a huge upgrade, and I want to show you her again. We have the sunflower here, and it is sunflower season. Boys and girls, if you are not taking advantage, if you could take your phone or the crappiest camera, it doesn't matter, and go where the sun is ready to set someplace where they have sunflowers and go take pictures. Just go take pictures. They're amazing. Especially if you have little kids, they're amazing. But like for anyone, they're amazing. It's I don't think it's an accident that it's sunflower season and we're getting that card. This is confidence. Look at the peacock. It's creativity. It's feeling really good about whatever. It's really funny. Like whatever anxiety is here, that's what you're coming out of. Stepping into the other thing about the Queen of Wands is that energy as an archetype is gonna fight for you. They're loyal. They're, so this is about you, earth signs. And so feeling really impassioned, hopefully by yourself, but if not feeling impassioned about yourself, then about an upcoming project or a person. In the middle, let's go over. They have the Fool card. They are a little afraid that they will not succeed. Now, whether this is like work energy and maybe your job is trying to restructure, there's some kind of, on the other energy, the one that's impacting you, there's still nervousness and there might be a little bit of indecision and there's worry about failure. I don't think that's probably very conducive to whatever that thing is that they wanted to leap about. I don't know if it's about you. So if you're dealing with somebody that you kind of feel like, you say one thing and then you're not really following through, it's not wanting to follow through, because I would say if somebody new came into your life or even somebody old came into your life, the feelings are there. They want to leap. They probably had something either that they just came out of or that they've been through that makes them a little hesitant. It makes it feels like relationships might feel like a little trepidatious to them, if you will. The composite energy, the combined energy and the alchemy of these two energies right now is the Three of Wands. This is just making a decision and going with it and knowing that you're leaving at least 2 other options behind, but actually making the decision. This is different than the 2 of Swords. Hello, Mo. This is different than the 2 of Swords where there's so much indecision. This is making a decision and decided. She's picked her ship. She's picked her, waiting for, and you're waiting for whatever. There's not a lot of action going on. 3 of Wands is also waiting for whatever that is to come back in. You know what I mean? Like, it's choosing. For sure. I want you to be prepared, Earth signs, for whatever it is that you are exploring right now. You may hit a little bump coming up, but I don't mind it. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands is like a message coming through. It's a small message, so it's in reverse. I am honestly feeling so strong that there is jealousy tied to like this message coming in wrong and this message coming in reverse, or the message being withheld from you about how you're doing, about where you're going on this passionate journey, because it is passionate. It is soul satiating. I like it for you. We're going to see, right? I don't feel like it has to do with this other energy. I feel like we're talking about a third energy here that wants to intercept your success. And I'm not usually saying things like that, but I solely feel it. And now everybody that's been here from the beginning, you see how fast my hair was dripping wet when I sat down. It dries fast. So here we have the Hermit in reverse. It's time. This person that was afraid to take the leap and was afraid to not be successful, they're coming out of their corner. In the upcoming energy, you can expect this in the next week or 2, they're going to come out of their shell. They're going to come out of their quietness, their lack of communication, whatever. They're coming out of that. It's time for them to stop hiding away and being too overprotective. Then the Emperor, and they're deciding that themselves, because like when Hangman goes in reverse, that's the universe saying it's time. When Hermit is in reverse, it's them or you. It's the person saying it's time. I don't love this Emperor. I don't love a lot of Emperors, but I especially don't love this one. So you could see there's people in strings. I'm just giving you a heads up, Earth signs. This person is just creeping out of their shell and may feel a little not confident. And you might have somebody giving you misinformation, or it feeling like it's jealousy in some way. It feels like you're doing well and you're feeling good, and something is just going to come along to try to throw you off course. The 2 of those energies are equaling this kind of everybody pretending it's all good. I'm good. I'm not bothered. And I don't think that you should let this message bother you, but there may be a little overcompensation. Careful with your ego a little bit. And Earth signs can definitely suffer from that a little bit. And I mean, I'm an Earth sign rising, so like I get it. Careful that like you're not doing that thing where you just so don't want to look vulnerable. And that's really what it is, that you kind of inadvertently make anyone else feel less than, because what that's going to do, especially if this is communication you want with this other person, right? That felt nervous. You both felt nervous, but you recovered way better than they did. Way better than they did, Earth signs. So when they're finally saying, okay, I'm going to take myself out of hermit mode. I'm not going to sit as Eight of Swords. I'm not going to sit in the non-confidence of I might fail. I'm just going to take one step, right? And bring myself back out into the situation. And you're having somebody trying to gum up the works. The issue could be coming up is that if both people are like kind of trying to be easy breezy, Erica, email me because you won the moon calendar at the Zoom party. And I think you might have stepped out for a minute. And I'm not sure that you know that, but email me so I can send you the details about how to get your free moon calendar from the Zoom party. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I think that the trouble here in this Emperor energy is that if this person especially is somebody you want to communicate with, if the vulnerability is overcompensated so much that it discourages either of you. Does that make sense? Because this is the kind of confidence that people use when you're feeling vulnerable. It's the overcompensation other end. It's the other end of the seesaw for feeling vulnerable. And the problem is that it could miscommunicate and drive people away a little bit. Does that make sense? Oh gosh, Little John, email me. I will figure it out. I have a list of who won what when. I just don't know it off the top of my head. I just remember Erica because I was like going, oh no, I know Erica's here. I know Erica's here. Earth signs, I really like this reading for you. Just know in the upcoming energy, when everybody's trying to pretend like they're okay, it's okay to be vulnerable and don't try to overcompensate to the point where you delay things. You know, what's meant for you will find you. Can we delay things? Yeah, a little bit. Sure. Okay. Air signs. I'm using a different one for air sign. I'm just peeping these guys over here. Okay. I want to use these Night Goddess. Okay, and don't forget, for anybody that's new in the room, you can go back and watch How to Manifest through the house that Leo is on or in, and also that I'm giving away 8 personal readings at the end. And there's not that many of you, so if you want a personal reading, say something now. And then I'm going to write them down quick in a notebook, and I'll add anybody that's new between this and this reading and the next one afterwards. And I'm just going to draw out of a hat because there's just, I knew it would be intimate tonight because I've been on in so long, I figured. Also, let me say this, YouTube is not great at sending, even if you hit the notification thing for my channel, they are not good at sending people notifications when I go on. It's not just me, it's all the creators. You'll always hear people complaining about that. If you want, I don't like to be over solicitous. I'm not going to send you an email every time I'm on unless you want to know. So if you do want to know, there is a contact sheet at the end of my website page. It's just Susie Evolutionary. But there's a contact thing, and you can just write the message, email me when you're going to go on. Okay. Okay, so Kristen, Erica, Nicole, Sherry. Is there anyone that doesn't? So the thing is that, yeah, if you didn't get a notification, you can email me and I can put you on a little list. And then at the point that you don't want to get them, I use a subscription service. So like you could be able to hit unsubscribe or tell me if you just want less or what you want to hear about, what you don't. Yeah, no, I know people. Okay, so if you're watching and you're just being quiet, but you would like a personal reading, this would be the time to let me know. Because I know that there's more people actually watching than there is being active in the chat, and that's totally okay. I know some people are shy. I like everybody to be comfortable. All right, here we go. Air signs. What do the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, need to know? Huh. Did some of you just have a breakup or you're having relationship trouble in the past little bit? But been working on it. I knew that was not, for some people, it's working on a relationship that matters to you. Oh, wow. And the same card coming out in the same spot for air signs that it did for Earth. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw names because I feel like that's the fairest way to be. Wow, really working on yourself, air signs. Really working on yourself. And the relationship. I better be able to find this one. Okay, that one's right here. This makes sense to me. Okay. Try not to like push the computer off the, you know, the, whatchamacallit, the table, but at the same time, these cards are ginormous and I needed room. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups in reverse. This is a pairing. This is some kind of a connection. And it once was a very good give and take. It feels like it's either on a break. I don't know if it's totally broken up, air signs. If you are not in communication with somebody, if the communication is bad, this could apply, but certainly if you're in a relationship and it's struggling right now, because the other thing that I got was the Eight of Pentacles in the middle. That's really working on something, and working on something to, you know, when I say it's like working on something for a purpose, like for the higher good. Because the Seven of Pentacles is working on it and not sure if it's going anywhere and feeling impatient about it. So then just bear with me. I have the Fool for your person. So while you're feeling possibly a little brokenhearted, we have the Fool on their side. And here we have like an alligator. If your person has 1 foot out of the relationship and you feel like you're working on it a little bit, you're working on yourself and the relationship, and they're just working on themselves. This might resonate especially with you. Also, there might be somebody else trying to convince them that there's like a better situation. I don't think that there's like full 3-party interaction. I don't think it's gotten anywhere physical or anything like that. I do think that there's somebody trying to convince them, like, hey, look how green this grass is. Yours is dying over there. Look how good mine is. And as a form of escapism, they might be listening. I don't think they're acting on it. This reading is very deep, air signs. Not going to lie. Then we have, on your side, the devil. It's in the reverse. You are working on stuff that you feel like has been troubling you since birth. Like stuff you walked into that maybe the environment that you grew up in or things that you've struggled with your whole life is contributing to why you might be having these relationship problems or why you feel the need to work on yourself. But you are totally working on it. You are actively in the steps of trying to change your behaviors. You're not just running around blaming other people. You are not just blaming them. You're not just saying... It's like, you know, people when you're having a relationship problem and they almost make it worse by saying, you should just love me, or reminding you of like old things or the way things used to be. Well, they're not that way anymore, and people grow. So are you going to grow with each other or you're not? And the thing is that you're not saying, but we used to this, and but we used to this, and but you used to come home and do this. You're not doing that. You're taking accountability and you're literally putting actual work, because the devil is Capricorn. If that devil card is upside down, you are climbing up that hill. You are the goat walking up that hill, trying to change the behaviors. You're not just talking about it, you're being about it. Now, in their energy, they have the Queen of Wands. Listen, I'm not going to lie. What I am seeing and feeling, and it's overwhelming me, is that air signs, your person or situation is feeling themselves right now. There's some kind of insecurity that's being fed by the idea that you're killing yourself to get back to this. Or that like they have more than one person. Like they are feeling like my value is up here. I should know my value. And you should know your value. But this person, I believe, there's a little bird in their ear, and they're trying to like stick their toe in what would it be like if I gave this a break, right? And they're a little bit feeling themselves, but hold on. They're feeling power. They're feeling like they have more power than you in this relationship. They're also very creative, and they're also very attractive, especially right now. It almost feels to you like somehow they're getting more attractive as the relationship seems more fragile. And it's I can see where it's frustrating, but you are not making it about them. You really are working on you. Like this is such air signs. This is such an impressive card to have in this spot. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords. There is a struggle for both of you that you're about to be able to lay down. Pain. It could be lifelong pain. It could be a trauma. It could be it could be something that has plagued you for a really, really, really long time. But here's the thing. You're having your aha moment now. I think they have theirs later. But I think you might be looking over at this other person thinking like they're doing so well. They look so good. Their energy is so good. And I'm dying. Like it almost doesn't seem like it matters to them. Right? And that might feel crushing. Please allow me to absolutely let you know that there's two stories going on with this person. That some of you, this person is hiding. Their swagger is hiding a lot of pain, and that they've had a lot of pain for so long that it feels hard to keep working. It feels hard to have the things that happen to them. It feels hard. I feel abandonment for them. I feel all kinds of stuff. And right now being fought for, and feeling like they're almost disposable. Like people aren't going to work hard to keep them. When they put up a boundary, people are like, okay, fine, bye. And we have to put up boundaries knowing that not everyone is going to conform to the boundaries. The boundaries are there to keep us healthy, give us room to grow, and keep us safe. They're not there to manipulate other people to do what we want them to do. And unfortunately, boundaries, you have people like my air signs who are like, let me do the work. The boundary is, I no longer accept this level of whatever in this relationship. And you're like, all right, I'm on it. And then there are other people that you're going to say that and they're going to be like, all right, bye. Right? So what's incredible is that one set of these people, they are hiding pain, and that they are filling the hole, that empty space that they feel like no matter what, this stuff keeps happening to them with the attention that they're getting right now. For some of the other people, they're selfish. I'm going to say that's only for like a quarter or a third of everyone watching, maybe a little less. But for a handful of you, this other person is just a little selfish. I just think that they're still going to have an aha moment. All right. You're doing a lot of work. You also have to integrate air signs. You also have to give yourself a little rest. You also have to not exhaust yourself and drain yourself. Because, one, yes, you are supposed to put your oxygen mask on first, and that does not make you selfish. But also, like, I see you're doing the work. I see that this bothers you. I see that you weren't making this person feel disposable, right? You now have to rest. I see this all the time in my videos, but like, you need time to integrate. You need time to, when we heal something, it doesn't just go away the next day. Like, we have to feel that something needs to be healed. Then we have to like name it, put words to it, communicate about it. Then we have to start wanting to do something, really being so motivated that there's no answer left but that to do is something about it. And then we have to start putting into action. And when we put things into action, we're going to go 3 steps forward and 1 step back sometimes. That is just the way it is. That is healing. And then when we really get to that point where it's a steady action, where we really healed it, there's a little pocket there where it might feel lonely because something had to shed for you to heal. Right? And you have to rest and let it integrate. You have to let it physically, we are crystalline bodies. You have to let it rest. You have to let it You have to let it integrate. And also, you cannot be on a hamster wheel for this cause so much that you lose yourself in it. Because I promise you, air signs, whatever this other entity first fell for you for, or part of their attraction, is the core of you. Not growth, not healing, not the core of you. And so don't lose yourself completely in the healing, in the fighting for this relationship, because you'll feel like I did everything and I'm still not enough. But that also, losing yourself, is probably not good for this person. And if it's the handful of people that they're just selfish, that you need boundaries too. They're allowed to have theirs and you're allowed to have yours, but it's just so important. Don't lose yourself. Take that rest. That's coming up. that's coming up. If this starts to exhaust you, oof, rest, let it integrate. And then you can be back at it. Then you can be back at your personal growth game being so strong, right? Because that's for you. If it helps this, then this is right. It's meant to be. Now, I do see energy working and shifting. I don't know that it's going to be in the next month or two, but whoever was in their ear, what they wanted, your person, your situation could not provide. This feeling themselves, the extra swagger, the self-comfort to, again, not be vulnerable, kind of like the earth signs were, that this little bit of overcompensation. That 3 of Cups is in reverse. That third person is going to end up being smoke and mirrors that dissipates. That's all I keep seeing is like whoever this is in their ear, and I don't think there's been action, but whoever this is in their ear, it's just gonna like, it's not gonna stay. It's not real. Whoever's saying, hey baby girl, you know, look how green my grass is. They're not gonna be, they're not substance. So like, while you might smell it and they're like, oh my God, but you're afraid to, it feels like you can smell a third party, but you're afraid to say something because you already feel so less, that you don't want to do anything else to upset them, annoy them. You're trying everything to get this back on track. And so just know that I think that I don't think there's been physical action taken, but I think somebody's in their ear, and I think that person just, they might even ghost them. The conversations, they might avoid them, because the minute it starts to look real, they don't want it. They just wanted, that other person just wanted the ego stroke of knowing they could get their attention. So there's going to be an aha moment. You had your aha moment right away. There's going to be an aha moment for them. In the middle, we have the 7 of Pentacles, which feels a little frustrating. It feels like, where is, you know, where's the progress? Why is this not, you know, I hate my Pop-Tarts. I ate my Cracker Jacks. Now where is, you know, the stick-on tattoo kind of thing? For you, you've done so much work, it may feel like, where the fuck is the progress? Like, what did I do this work for? I know I'm telling you something that's a human emotion, and you're entitled to it, because feel all your feelings. But for them, they're going to feel like they're going to circle back. This is what happens when people try to go around a wound instead of through it. And just everybody's not ready when they're, you know, everybody's going to be ready at a different time. This may be shifting, and people shifting at different timing. I don't think it feels completely hopeless. I have to tell you, for the handful that this person's selfish, you're so much better off. But for the majority of you, this does not feel hopeless. It feels like we're going to have to all come back and see what air signs are doing week by week, which I will do. But please rest and give yourself a break. That you just, because what my fear is, air signs, is that you would work so hard on yourself and really take accountability and really try. Be the person that finally comes into this person's life and says, you're worth, I'm going to fight for you because you are worth it. I adore you. It does make a difference if you're not here. All of that stuff, right? And then still feel like, that didn't pay off. Like, what else can I do? And you know, air signs, especially if you're a Libra, I know that you are cutting off an arm and going, would you like another arm? And then cutting off, like, right? But we will get more detail when we do the individual signs that are coming up. But I still need you to rest, because I don't want you to drain yourself. And And I want you to understand that you're not broken, and you are enough, and you are trying so hard. And I want you to rest when that feels like it, when you get rest, and just know it's time to rest, and that you're not out of ways to be better, that you're not less than other people because you needed to rest. I really want you to take that rest, because there's also, while taking accountability and really working on yourself is wonderful, when also you're doing it to try to repair something that you hold valuable, it can actually make you feel less valuable when this person's timing is just off and it's not about you. So my air signs, you are enough, and rest when that, I know it's going to feel frustrating, but just give yourself a rest. Enjoy the progress and let the healing integrate. Let the evolution, let the, you scare the bejeebas out of me. Should I bring him up? This is what? It's just, he's like crawling over my feet. Say hi. I don't know if he's sleepy, if he wants me to be like in the recliner where I do a lot of computer work, or in my bed, but he is for sure. What you doing? How are you gonna? Okay, so we are on to water signs. You okay? All right. Also, technically, I've kind of gone from like, partial, I am still partial caretaker, but that is who my daughter refers to as her child. So technically I'm a grandparent type figure to that cat. And so guess who spoils him and sits outside with him and everything else. Sometimes when he comes to see me, I just know he wants to be spoiled. Okay. We're going to do water signs. All right, before I do water signs, I just want to put the names in for the drawing. I know that there is a notebook right here. Let's see if there's a pen. By the way, I want to put things up on the community page on Soul Navigation for this, for the 80s night tarot that we're going to do. So if you feel inclined to do some fun 80s stuff to your hair or your clothing or whatever, I want you to send the pictures in on the Susie.soulnavigation email, or any of my emails. It doesn't really matter. And I think that we should have like a fun, and I feel like there should be like a contest for whoever like went nuts. But also we're going to have other contests that you don't have to get dressed up if you don't wanna. But I'm going to have other like trivia's night contests and stuff like that. And eventually I really do, but we're so close to 500. And then I'm going to do a giveaway here. And when we get to 1,000, I'm going to do a huge Zoom party, I think, for the first like 600, because you guys are all my OGs. And then I'm going to give away a bunch of stuff too. All right. We have Maricela and Erica. I won't forget anybody. One, and I mean, I'm picking 8 people, so everybody's got a pretty good chance. Dana. Anyone that's new, I'm writing down, I am going to have an 80s playlist. I'm writing down everybody's names who's interested in being drawn for a reading. Yes, Mr. Weasel Man. And then at the very end, I'll read off who I have. So if you're not on there, then that person can be like, hey, me. And all I ask is if like you just won something, like if you just won a reading, or you have a reading coming up with me in like the next week or something, that you let somebody else, you take your winning and you let somebody else do. Anna, do you want a reading if I'm doing beep beep dop? April, Kristen. I'm still writing down. Jupiter, Jasmine, I feel like the lady from Romper Room again. Da, 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 da. Nicole. I already wrote Maricela. Stacy, Raziel. I'm probably saying that wrong, and if I am, I'm sorry. Jacqueline. Alien probably fell asleep, but I'll put him down anyway. Bloop bloop. I feel like that's everyone for now. We're in a nice small gathering. Right? Do I have Erica? I do have Erica down. Yeah. The 80s party is this Friday night. Madison, hey. So I'm gonna draw names, or I'm gonna close my eyes and point or something. I don't know. It's like spin it and okay. And as you know, I'll read it off at the end right before I'm ready. Gina. But it looks like right now you have almost a 50-50 chance of getting a little personal reading. Oh, I just remembered that there's corn on the cob. This is water signs. That there's corn on the cob that we made in my kitchen. That's here. That'll be so nice. I'm making a whole bunch of changes for my health. Water signs. Why are you up night and not sleeping and a little bit worried? Yo. Do-da-da-ba. I gotta tell you, the cards for earth and water especially are like flying. Even since I just made a few differences in my health regimen, I even noticed like my skin, like for a while, felt terrible. And okay, I'm flipping this because when every single card comes upside down, I know I just grabbed the, like all but two. So I probably just grabbed it upside down. So we're flipping. We're flipping all the cards, which means some of them will go up in reverse right now. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. Water signs. It looks like you were stressed out. I wish homegrown tomatoes. I love the smell of that. It reminds me of my dad. Like the dirt on the tomatoes. It's like the earthy smell on homegrown like tomatoes on the vine. 9 of Swords. It is in reverse, so that means that something was keeping you up at night, something you might have had a little bit of insomnia, you know, as Gemma from Gemstones Tarot likes to call it, the 4 a.m. card. What are the thoughts that keep us up at night? What are the worries? It feels like you're coming out of that. Something you may have suffered from, a little insomnia. A lot of times water signs are so intuitive that they will not sleep because they are connecting to somebody they care about or somebody they have a connection. They will connect with their energy at night. And if that person isn't sleeping, you don't get to sleep either. I personally experienced that. And the person that I connect with is another water sign. So like, my God, every time I feel like, and I lovingly always say like, could you sleep? Because then we could both sleep and that would be great. Okay, thanks. I really wish you would sleep so I could sleep. Sometimes there's no reason for my insomnia. Sometimes it's not my worries. It's just, there's definitely, whether it's worry or not, there's insomnia here. And again, because it's water signs, I'm just throwing it out there that, you know, you could be connecting to another energy that is also not sleeping. Oh, that's rough, alien. So then on their side, we have the Ace of Wands, wanting to step back out into, like, wanting to start something they feel passionate about again. You know, when we get the Ace of Wands, it's a couple things. It's universe per saying like, hey, you could feel good about this again. Like some little spark, some little something that universe comes in with their hand and says, you know, look through that door. And it's really interesting because I keep getting references about that person. And I always used to say to them, like, you know, the key is to the inside. Don't worry about like the key to whether the outside accepts you. And they used to share with me a saying that was close to them, which was, you know, the door opens from the inside. And so, and here we're in a keyhole. This is possibly what I am feeling is somebody who's felt a little dormant, who's felt a little like going through the motions in survival mode, just kind of self-preservation, starting to look what the outside looks like, starting to wonder if they can open the door from the inside again, and feeling like something just sparked their step again. And it feels like maybe universe had a little, you know, a little hand in it. The very, very interesting alchemy composite chart energy between you and this other person that you've just both experienced is, if I could pick it up, my nails are like, no, you can't, bitch. Okay, there we go. We have the World card. This is massive change. This is closing a chapter, it's not even closing a chapter, it's closing a whole book. It's starting a new book. This is a big change, water signs. Big change, big one. What's interesting is that like you and your other person are sharing so much of an energetic shift on different levels for different things. But it's almost like where the last one, the timing wasn't great. This one seems like, I don't even know if y'all know, but the timing is like lining up in a way. There's one little sticky thing in the middle. Well, two little sticky things, but we'll talk about it. So, the King of Wands, you actually, water signs, you have, all right, so that insomnia was no fun, right? But you have like 2 kings on your table. So I gotta tell you right from the beginning, there might be somebody that you want, and then this might be 2 energies. somebody else might show up. We'll see how the rest of it goes, but like 2 kings. The other thing you could be dealing with is like somebody who's fluid in their sexuality, somebody who's struggling with, maybe they identify with both. Dear Lord, you scare me every time you do that. It's just very interesting. This King of Wands, really, again, we have some Wands energy here, but there's also a lot of thinking, a lot of people in their thoughts. And believe it or like, water signs are adjacent to 2 other signs. What are on the other sides of water signs? Let's do a little thing. This will win one of the readings. What are the 2 elements that are always on the other side of a water sign? So they're likely to have both energies in there. He's down here begging to be pet under the desk. What are the 2 adjacent signs to every water signs? Yep. Fire and air, air and fire. So we're going to have water signs also tend to do a little overthinking. And that's often because it can be, right? It can be somebody who has some air in their chart. If they have a Venus or a Gemini, a Venus or a Mercury in air signs, they're going to be an overthinker. And also water signs get blamed a lot for their like impassioned outbursts. But guess what? A lot of water signs have fire in them. So it's the emotional overthinker, impassioned, right? So like, it's not all, and I feel like water signs absorb all the bad rap for being too impulsive about their emotions, being too overthinking about their emotions. Like everything gets blamed on the emotions. You can have all 4, and you can be a water sign that only has a little tiny bit, has 1 tiny placement in either air or fire, not both. But I'm just saying, often the what's that called? Like the stats are going to be highly likely that water signs have a little bit of both. And I'm just saying that I feel like the water part of your water signs takes all the blame for being, oh, you were overthinking because you were emotional, because you're a water sign. You were over passionate or impulsive about your emotions. When that's the fire and the air that almost every water sign, a lot of water signs tend to have in their chart. Just saying. So this King of Wands is definitely like, this is feeling confident enough to be passionate about something again. And after a whole bunch of insomnia, but after a chapter closes, that doesn't shock me. Like the chapter closed, this person feels like maybe I can take a look out. Maybe I can start something new. And you're again already at the King of Wands. You're like, I'm ready. Been ready for it. Show me. Where is it at? Let me at it. Right? And so, like, this is very interesting to me. On their side, they have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And this Page of Pentacles, she's like kissing a skeleton. And it's wrapped around her like that Kundalini, like that my end is my beginning, but it is in a reverse. So we have the Page, right? And the Page brings us messages. Pages brought messages. Oh, great. Did you answer back? Okay, wonderful. You just let me know when. I'm excited. So we have in the middle of the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And the thing about Ten of Pentacles, it is the home. It is the whole shenanigans. It is all of it. I don't think this is there yet because they're getting a message that they might not be stable, or they might, whether they're hearing it from themselves or if it's because somebody's trying to talk them out of, you don't feel passionate about this, you're not confident to start again. It feels like this other person, water signs, this other person, whether, and your person may also be another water sign, but it feels like they may have somebody in their ear because it's a message. No, I already put you on the list, girly. So it feels like it's because it's a message. It's a page, right? Bringing a messed up, incorrect, non-reliable message about their stability. It's not nice. This is not nice. It's giving them less hope again to feel like they get to have the whole nine, the happy ending. But the King of Wands also feels like maybe, it almost feels like for a water sign likes everything in the crab shell. They like a good happy ending. They like you know, everybody in the home, the house, what it looks like, the whole nine, right? But as water signs mature, and depending on how much air and fire and what other things they have and whatever healing they've done, and if they've let go of attachment, this feels like you as a water sign may have let go of it has to look a certain way, or it has to be the whole nine to satisfy them. Where this person is feeling the Ten of Pentacles in reverse because somebody has just said something kind of fucked up in their ear about their inability to be stable. We move down here. We have the King of Cups. They have the Six of Swords. They are ready to move out of whatever that energy was. They are moving. You may be at a distance from each other, water signs, and there may be a closing of that space. This King of Cups and this Six of Swords moving towards the King of Cups, as it were. In the middle, we have the Fool. You know, the Fool can be a lot of things, but between the King of Cups and the Six of Swords, moving for smoother waters, because they are definitely leaving choppy waters. And you are the smoother waters. The Fool is love. The Fool is falling in love. The Fool is willing to be vulnerable again. I mean, water signs, that may be the nicest that we had all night. But it's funny because I always say this might be a water sign with a Gemini moon because the head is the moon. And Geminis kind of like to communicate about the relationship, but they almost want to think their feelings a little bit. Oh, okay, Juan. You have a great night. You have a great night. And Juan is actually somebody who has experienced one of the dual sessions with Connie, Joe, and I. Again, I guess I'm selfish because I love doing them because that energy is incredible with 3 people merging their energies. Look how much everybody loves you. I love that. How can they not love you, Juan?